Harry, this is the Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto was the reincarnation of Izuna Uchiha, Part 4. So yeah, no recaps because I already did what's called recap yesterday, or well for Part 3. And since Part 3 is not a month ago because I did just upload it like yesterday, um, not gonna happen. But other than that, let me go into this What If, and yeah. Just a warning, I am going to cough with there and there because I am still sick. But other than that, like that. But other than that, let me begin this what if and let me just go, okay? So yeah. Besides, I am trying to finish old 1 year old what ifs. So yeah. Because I actually want to start on some Bleach what ifs. And other than that, probably also redo some One Piece what ifs, but yeah. But don't worry about that. Let me first go into some what if and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah. So we go into Naruto. Naruto is mostly watching the movie with Laura and SF. And of course, this is where, well, they're watching this actress movie because, well, it was something that their sensei told them to kind of do. Of course, this is where SF says, interesting. What is she supposed to be, like the Ice Queen or something? This is where, well, Laura says, probably Naruto's already asleep. Yeah, Naruto didn't have much time to sleep or rest or anything. It's just the fact he was still training and all that. He was just training to become stronger, and of course, well, he didn't really have any time to sleep when he was taking on this mission. So yeah, of course, well. Both Laura and SF aren't gonna try to wake up Naruto because, well, Naruto he trains way too hard just to become stronger. So of course, well, they don't actually bother him right now. This is where, well, Naruto isn't trying to be rude. It's just he's too damn tired. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, we go into a time skip of them outside already. Of course, Naruto is laying near a wall because he's just too damn tired. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, they kind of see this, like, they see the horses running after someone, of course, mostly chasing after someone. Of course, this is where Laura and SF decides to act because they don't even know what the hell is happening. And Naruto's confused, but of course, he does follow that one person because SF and Laura told him to do. So of course he went to kind of follow her, or mostly follow who this hell this person is, and it's none other than Koyoki. Koyoki is right now near a like pond and all that. Of course she is kind of like letting the horse drink the water and all that. And this is where, well, she's looking into the water, and this is where Naruto appeared. So are you done being chased or something? This is where, well, Koyoki turns around really fast to try to slap at Naruto, but Naruto caught it in an instant by just blocking it. This is where Naruto says, hey, what the hell is happening? What the hell is this karma for me sleeping through that movie? This is where, well, Koyoki says, huh? Who are you? This is where Naruto says, who am I? Oh, the name's Naruto Uchiha. Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha. And who the hell are you? This is where Koyoki says, none of your business. Naruto just says, then why did you ask, and who the fuck am I? God. Why is every person that I meet always so rude half the damn time? Or sometimes. Whatever. Besides, you're gonna have to come with me because I'm guessing you're Koyoki. Or whatever. I forgot her actually, what's it called, false name, but her name is Koyoki. Her real name is Koyoki. I forgot her false name. And this is where Koyoki says, I ain't going anywhere with you. This is where Naruto says, yeah, I know, no. You're going to refuse me, blah, blah, blah. Let's just get this over with. Naruto activated his Sharingan and just knocked her out, giving her in a small illusion. That's where we go on a boat. Now, this is actually a different rank of mission because they thought it was going to be a C rank mission, but it's actually a double C rank mission because there's also the priestess with them. And the priestess is named, what's it called? And the priestess named Shin. Shin decided to came along just because she wanted to see the actress who is in her favorite movie, whatever the hell it's called, I forgot. Just how she acts and all that. That's where both the princess of the snow country, because she doesn't even know that she's the princess, and the priestess kind of argue most of the time. It's where, well, SF and Laura has to kind of stop them from doing that. Naruto is right now falling asleep because he's so damn tired and doesn't like dealing with half these things because he doesn't really know that much. This is where, well, the actor, mostly the director, kind of saw a giant ice cube, or that ice, whatever the hell it's called, that freaking giant mountain of ice. This is where, well, he said this would be the perfect chance for an actor scene, but yeah, of course the actress goes on the ice thing, and of course Naruto also lands on the ice. This where Naruto, he doesn't have his senses all the way up because he's too damn tired. And of course, this is where the priestess is right now on the boat watching this. This is where she kind of rambles on with how the actress acts mostly, but yeah. This is where, well, both Laura and Estef are on the boat, but yeah. This is where, well, Kyoko, oh yeah, Kyoko is right now also on the boat, kind of just seeing this. This is where, well, he's looking if anything will attack them, but yeah. Then he just think about it, how the fuck is anyone gonna attack? Maybe there'd be pirates, but yeah. Naruto is like right now on the ice place, but yeah. This is where, well, the actress is right now acting and all that, until Naruto notices one thing from his corner of his eye, something flying towards him. This is where someone lands upon him, or kind of near him, trying to crush the ground underneath him. This is where Naruto dodges it. It's this big dude with this kind of armor. This guy says, huh, damn, almost crushed some kid like you. This is where everyone realizes that these are ninjas, no ninjas, and this is where another person appears, trying to go through hand signs and says ice well, but this is where, well, the ice well was stopped thanks to Kyoko because he's able to control kind of ice and manage to manipulate to push it somewhere else. This is where the guy says, interesting, you're able to use, well, manipulate my ice. How interesting. This is where Kyoko says, who the hell are you? This is where a girl who's right now flying and she's trying to get to, what's it called, Koyoki, until, well, her wings was frozen and she was kicked the fuck away by Laura and Estef. Well, Estef mostly freezed her wings, and this is where Laura kind of kicked the shit of her. This is where Laura says, hey, are you okay, what's it called, actress? If you're okay, get on the fucking boat. This is where, well, mostly Koyoki was about to get on the boat until that big dude rushes saying, where do you think you're going? I ain't letting anyone. This is where Naruto says, shut up, lightning style, lightning murder discharge. This is where Naruto touches this person, and of course where lightning just goes through him, a lot of it. Of course this discharge also was a lot of discharge of lightning, being positive, negative, whatever. And of course the electricity in his body. Of course even that little device to absorb chakra wasn't enough to destroy it or stop the lightning from just coursing through his body. Of course, this is where he got so much damage until the effect of the machine managed to get rid of the chakra. This is where, well, he turns around and says, why you? This is where Naruto says, oh, shut up. Naruto then grabs him from the head and smashes a knee into this person, smashing him straight into the ice. This is where both Laura and Estef have never seen how angry Naruto is. The reason why Naruto's angry is because he's too damn tired, and the fact that he's being attacked right now is just he's still too damn tired. This is where Naruto is right now having both of his arms like near him, but mostly not like on guard, just kind of down and all that. And this is where Naruto, his eyes aren't fully open that much. They're kind of cracked open a little bit, but he's just too damn tired. This is where the person rushes at, well, Naruto dodges to the left, then fucking kick this person in the head. And this is where the person says, I will show you what I'm going to kill such a brat like you. This is where Laura and Estef are having to deal with this other person. And of course, this is where, well, something else happens. These four beings that aren't actually humans appear right now attacking, well, Laura, Estef, and even what's it called, Kyoko, and even attacking Naruto, which they all hit Naruto mostly. They all attack him because Naruto isn't like, seems to be the most powerful because Naruto's easily dodging half their attacks. And there's four in total. There's this orange hair dude, and of course, well, one had blue hair, one had white hair, and one had like this purplish pinkish hair. This is where, well, the orange hair dude kind of sent a water attack. The blue hair kind of sends these multiple metal shards. And of course the white hair kind of just sends like this ice. Kind of copied the guy who uses ice will. This is where they all were about to hit Naruto. Until like this purple snake also was an attack to attack Naruto. And Naruto noticed all of this. And this is where Naruto just looked at all of it. This is where, well, it was all going to hit him, which Naruto couldn't dodge, and this is where Lauren SF says, Naruto! This is where it hit Naruto in an instant, blasting him up. And this is where Naruto, he gets hit by all of this, and an explosion happens. This is where, well, Lauren managed to grab what's it called, the actress and Koyoki, and of course, right now Estep is right next to, well, the priestess, right now using an ice wall just to block anything that comes towards them. This is where the enemies kind of land down. Of course, a great portion of the ice place kind of falls down into the water. This is where, well, this is interesting. That kid is gone. This is where Big Dude says, who the hell are you? This is where the leaders, mostly of the leader of the kind of machinery Snow Ninjas, kind of says, you must be the backup. Well, we don't need you. Well, of course you don't need us. The guy with purplish hair said, we're really going after the priestess. We don't need you. We just need the priestess. And we need just the actress. This is where they're kind of arguing a little bit, but they look at the boat, and the boat's trying to get away a little bit. Well, mostly still floating them. Of course, this is where before they actually rush towards the actress and priestess, something happens. An explosion of power exploded from the water. Right now being a bubbly orange, but at the same time, a very ominous green color. This is where from the water, Naruto's eyes have evolved to the MS. No, not the MS, but a fusion with Kurama's power. The KMS. The Kurama Maniacal Sharingan. This is where, well, it's not the EMS just yet, but just the KAMS. This is where, well, Naruto exploded right now in his Susanoo. This is where, well, Naruto is right now, his clothing are wet, but he doesn't care. Of course, his face is kind of pinkish and purple, well, mostly pinkish. That's just because he is kind of getting sick, because he did kind of fall into the water. But of course, where Naruto, he sends the, what's it called, Susanoo's arm, claw down, smashing into the ice, destroying in an instant. This is where all of them wind their eyes, and this is where, well, the Susanoo roars, because it's right now kind of mixed with the Kurama's power. Yes, an orangey color, it's greenish and orangey. It's where, well, the Susanoo makes a sword out of nowhere. Of course, it's in its skeleton version and all that, so that's why it's kind of growing a little bit. This is where, well, Naruto sends the sword straight towards all of them. This is where all of them has to try to dodge. The big dude says, I can absorb this. Nothing can stop me from this. Ching! He is gone. He's obliterated. Yes, the Susanoo just rips through him. This is where all of them wind their eyes. There's no way in hell they can absorb that much power. This is where the orange hair dude says, I got this. Water slashes. This is where he says, water slashes tsunami. This is where it smashed into Naruto, but Naruto didn't care. It slashed the other dude, this orange hair dude. This is where all of them realized that this is such a problem. That's where Naruto, he is kind of glowing with this orange color. That's where, well, Naruto's Susanoo seems to be glowing down, which it is because Naruto's losing too much power because he is tired, sick, and is getting sick, and of course, where, well, he is just freezing a little bit, but yeah. This is where Naruto's Susanoo goes down, and of course he lands down into the water, and of course where Naruto, he's right now floating there, and this is where, well, all of them kind of lands on some of the ice pieces, and this is where Naruto smashed through the water behind him just blows up. This is where Naruto sends a punch at one of them, mostly this guy with blue hair. This is where this guy tries to block it, but of course the punch just rips through him, killing him in an instant. This is where a guy with kind of whitish hair tries to attack Naruto. Naruto goes through only one hand style and remembers one word. Well, not one word, one jutsu. Majestic Flame Destroyer. Destroying this guy in an instant, burning him. This is where, well, Naruto has to dodge the girl with pink hair. And this pink hair girl kind of wrapped him up with a ninja wire, but this is where Naruto breaks through it, mostly burning it. Naruto grabs one of the mostly ninja wire that was connected to her, pulling her towards him. This is where Naruto rips her neck out, killing her in an instant. This is where Naruto dodges the leader's attack. The leader is going through hand signs and says, double ice well, sending an attack at Naruto. Naruto just roars and destroys in an instant. It's where Naruto says you're dead. It's where Naruto's eyes are such a menacing type eye color. It's where it's actually like a reddish, well, it's a crimson, very ferocious red color. It's where Naruto clocks this person in the face, destroying his helmet and his fucking skull. Destroying also his brain, just making it mush. That's where Naruto looks at the last person, and the last person is this purplish shirt dude. He says, shit, I need to get out of here. Which he does. He disappears. He leaves. He saw how everyone, all the people that were there, just got wiped down in an instant. Naruto says, where do you think you're going? Naruto's passing out. Yes, he's too damn tired. And of course, with the added amount of power that he just exploded with, it was too much for his body to handle. So of course, he's passing out. Before landing onto the water, he was actually grabbed by a whale, Kyoko, yeah. So of course, he's brought into the boat. This is where, Estef and, Laura kind of check on him, sees that he's still alive, but just burning. The ice water kind of affected him way too much. This is where Naruto's breathing a little too hard. But yeah, this is where, Kyoki says, I got this. We gotta get rid of his clothes. They're too wet. And of course, with the cold weather, it's affecting him. That's where Laura and Esther kind of agree to kind of do it. And that's where Kyoki says, well, that is true, but I don't think so. That's where he actually kind of gets rid of some of Naruto's clothes, mostly just his shirt and all that. And of course, mostly his jacket, shirt, and all that. His pants was kind of like also taken off. He was put on a like warm bed, and of course it went well. Naruto is just trying to be warmed up, and of course this was the crew. The director was shocked. He got so many shocking scenes. He said, "Oh my God, they're gonna make millions with this movie. This is truly amazing." But it's sad, and the kid had to get affected with sickness or something. This is where Koyoki right now winding her eyes. She saw the fire and for some reason got a flashback, but saw how powerful Naruto was really. He seems to be very powerful, one of the strongest out of his team, which he is. He's actually stronger than both SF and Laura combined, and you mean Kyoko. The reason why is because of the 9 cells he sealed inside him, and the fact that he's the reincarnation of a strong, powerful ninja of this world. Pretty much just related to him. But yeah, but other than that, that doesn't mean that Izuna isn't weak. He is strong just like his brother Madara, but isn't at the same level. But yeah. Of course, Naruto, he is actually getting a memory when he was actually, when he was Izuna. Izuna was right now having a flashback of when he was younger. He was right now training with his brother, who is Madara. Of course, they were just training in taijutsu because at this time they were just training so they can be stronger and of course make their father kind of proud. And when they become the clan head heir or something, Izuna knew that Madara would be definitely the clan heir, but he wanted to be strong enough so he can protect his brother. So his brother won't be kind of like attacked by any senju. Of course, both of them were fighting and kind of using taijutsu together, kind of fighting each other. That's where Izuna always kind of got easily beaten up by his brother. Well, not easily. He also did fight back. But Izuna was a much more kinder person. He was nice and other things, but he can easily be a brutal murder person. Of course, Izuna, he didn't want to hurt animals or anything, or any person that was kind. He was actually the kind Uchiha, unlike his brother who was always stoic and had this kind of angry look to him. Izuna always had this nice look and very kind. But yeah, multiple Uchihas didn't believe that he would ever be anything better than his older brother like Madara. Of course, Izuna didn't care what people thought. But of course, is where Izuna always did join his brother. This is where they were training in taijutsu, and of course Izuna managed to punch Madara a couple times, and this is where Izuna felt bad and of course tried to come for his brother. His brother was happy, but of course didn't really want Izuna to kind of have that same nice personality most of the time. Of course, still didn't want his brother Izuna to kind of go into war though, because Madara was having that kind of thought of, well, what's it called, Hashirama, and him talking about like the peace treaty between the two clans. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, Madara did teach Izuna a jutsu called the, well, Majestic Flame Destroyer, and that was the jutsu that Naruto used. Naruto has never actually used the Majestic Flame Destroyer once in his life because, well, he didn't really know what the hell that was. That was unconsciously in what he did. This is where, well, he did it with one hand, but in the flashback, what Izuna remembers was only in a two-handed, mostly two-handed style, what Madara did. But Naruto did it one-handed. This is where, well, Madara says this jutsu in the flashback, this jutsu is called the Majestic Flame Destroyer Izuna. A jutsu that would definitely destroy your enemies. But right now you don't have the chakra capacity to do it. And I feel like you don't actually want to burn people to crisp, do you? This is where, well, Izuna hesitates and says, if it's a jutsu that would protect you, then I will learn its brother. This is where, well, Izuna smiles gently. This is where Madara kind of smiles also. This is where, well, we go back into Naruto. Naruto is right now in another flashback. Something that Izuna was kind of seeing. It was a nightmare. What he saw was his youngest brother. Izuna and Madara weren't just the only child. There was two other children that were basically the brothers of Izuna, but much younger. These two were kind of a little bit arrogant, but not much. Of course, Izuna always tries to make them stronger, but the flashback that Naruto is seeing is the fact that Izuna saw his youngest brother, well, not youngest, it was like his second youngest brother because the other one died, but this one was kind of vivid because he was attacked by 5 older adult senjus, killing him, mostly stabbing him in the heart, head, leg, arm, and even in the chest, or mostly smashing his boot into Izuna's younger brother. His name was, well, Ashin Uchiha. And of course, where Izuna in that flashback screams out, "No! Ashin!" This is where he bursted with power. His MS was activated, and of course, this is where the Susanoo was activated. Right now, Izuna crushed him all, killing him in an instant. Of course, the last one, Izuna went through hand signs. Only a one-handed style when he was in Susanoo, but of course, is where he sent them a Majestic Flame Destroyer. But these flames weren't red, but a majestic green color. Izuna was pissed. He was pissed that Ashin died. And this is where, well, all that was all around him was only green flames. That's where Izuna says, "Ashin, Ashin." That's where when Izuna opened his eyes, there were the MS, but there was a greenish color. This is where Naruto woke up in an instant, right now breathing really hard. This is where, his eyes, where the Sharingan, where the 3 Tomoes, then it became the MS, then it became a vibrant green color. This is where Naruto, he's breathing really hard. This is where, well, the door was open. This is where Naruto's eyes turned back into just normal black color, almost a dark blue. Naruto says, "What the hell? Huh?" This is where Naruto saw Estep, and Estep said, "Naruto?" This is where she goes blushing because, well, Naruto doesn't have a shirt or anything. Naruto says, "Huh? Oh, shit." This is where Naruto grabs the, well, kind of blanket and says, "Sorry about that." This is where Estep says, "No, it's fine. Are you feeling okay?" This is where she kind of gets to Naruto's head and feels his forehead. This is where, well, it's not that burning or anything. Naruto says, "How long have I been out?" About 3 days. Naruto says, "Oh, shit. Sorry about that." This is where, well, Estep says, "Why would you be sorry? You managed to defeat the enemy with this very powerful Susanoo color, but yeah." This is where Naruto says, "Wait, what? What are you talking about? You don't remember?" Naruto says, "No. All I remember was being attacked and then blacking out. I was thinking that you managed to defeat them." This is where, oh, Esther says, huh, were you unconscious the whole time you were doing that? Naruto says, I don't know. This is where, well, Esther says, huh, well, just gotta make sure we're heated up. No, your head isn't that hot or anything, but at least you're not passed out. Also, your clothes are there. Sorry, we couldn't really, what's it called, get you other clothes. They're going to have to be a, well, darkish green color. But yeah, and there's no Uchiha crest because your other clothes were extremely icy cold. And we are not trying to waste that much energy, so we just got you other clothes. This is where Naruto says, huh, it's fine. This is where Naruto says, thank you, Essa. Essa says, yeah, thanks. This is where Essa walks away, and this is where she kind of locks the door, but yeah. Well, mostly closes it, not really lock it. That's where Naruto gets to the pile of clothing. He puts it on, and of course, it's just a dark green jacket. And of course, this is where dark green pants, mostly, well, not dark green, grayish pants. Of course, this is where Naruto's wearing black sandals, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, he also kind of has what's called a white shirt underneath, but yeah, this is where, well, Naruto says, what was that dream? Naruto kind of looks into the mirror for a second, because there was a mirror in this kind of room. And they are in the movie Trucks or whatever. And of course, this is where Naruto, he looks through the mirror. And of course, this is where, well, Naruto has one of his hands, mostly his left hand, on his eye. And of course, he sees his dark blue eyes. And of course, this is where he activates his Sharingan just because he was confused. Or when not activated, he unconsciously activated his Sharingan. And the one that was mostly his left hand touching his, well, eye, or near his eye or all that, kind of shows the vibrant green color. This is where Naruto was confused and shocked. This is where he then looks into the mirror again and was confused because it was just his crimson red eye. That's where he says, what just happened? Don't know what just happened. Whatever. This is where Naruto walks out. But of course, where, well, we go into Naruto being outside. Naruto is kind of, well, understanding and what the hell is happening. Mostly the situation text with Laura kind of telling him what just happened. Mostly they are kind of bringing Koyoki to the snow country to kind of make her the snow princess. The priestess was okay to come here. Of course, she has her guards and all that just protecting her, but yeah. Of course, the priestess then talked about that Warren or whatever the hell that guy's called. Mostly this ghostly figure that she will be the only one to defeat him. It's just shocking to believe that the Snow Country was able to find this person and bring the coffin towards Snow Country. But yeah, this is where, well, they look at Naruto, mostly the priestess and even actress asking Naruto if he's okay. Naruto asks, well, mostly say yes. But yeah, of course, where Naruto's black hair is pretty long, and of course he doesn't have it in a ponytail because, well, he forgot to put that there. Yes, our Naruto says, ah shit, forgot my ponytail. But it's pretty damn long. It's a jet black long hair. This is where, well, everyone, well, kind of sees this, and it looks great on Naruto, but Naruto usually has in a ponytail because, well, yeah, that's just how Izuna was. This is where, well, Naruto says, well, so we supposed to defeat the Snow Country's army, or are we supposed to defeat who? This is where, well, the kind of like Koyoki's like I forgot what was it, Guardian, I think so, says that protector guardian, whatever. I don't remember his name, so mostly I call him Steven. Yeah, fuck it. So of course Steven just says that it's mostly defeating Dodo and also probably the priestess kind of enemy named Morin. Naruto understands, and of course, he doesn't really mind in taking them both on if it's needed. This is where, well, they said, well, mostly one has to defeat what's called Dodo, and the other one has to be able to defeat Morin. And Morin's pretty damn strong because, well, he is basically kind of getting a bunch of hatred chakra or something like that. Naruto says, I see. Well, I guess we're gonna go over there and stop them. Interesting. Okay, whatever. This is where, well, Naruto, He kind of like goes mostly in one of the mostly outside, and of course on top of one of those snow vehicles, kind of just looking out, mostly up and just looking around. That's where Naruto activated his Sharingan just to look up, just to see where they're at exactly. And what he sees is a floating island. An island all the way on top of a castle, or mostly near a castle and just on top of it. Naruto says, what the fuck? This is where, well, Naruto sees multiple flying machinery coming towards him. Naruto's like, oh shit. This is where Naruto, he kind of goes down and kind of saw his sensei, and this is where Naruto explains really fast. This is where his sensei says, shit, could they find us already out? I know snow countries, well, technology is high in advance. This is where he tells Naruto to go warn all of them. This is where Naruto says multi-shadow clone jutsu. This is where, well, he kind of brings a bunch of clones to kind of go tell them. And this is where he tells the other clones to come with him. This is where Naruto, he goes up and sees them like so many what's called flying machinery coming towards them. This is where Naruto says, everyone do it. This is where Naruto and his clones says, fire style, flame drawer, blasting through, well, what's it called, the flying people. And even though when those people fly towards the mostly flame wall, they get burned in an instant. Mostly it's the flame wall that they are getting blasted and blocked by. And multiple are actually trying to go around it, but this is where they're actually being hit by shuriken and just impaled and attacked by shurikens and kunais. And of course, these shurikens and kunais, they have the jutsu called multi shuriken and kunai throw. But yeah, they just spread out and clone themselves to have more. But yeah, this is where, well, they're getting absolutely destroyed. And of course, hundreds of them were right now on the ground. This is where some were burned to a crisp, some were just impaled with so many kunais and shurikens. But yeah, this is where Naruto, he does get impaled once. And this is the real Naruto. And Naruto was just seeing this, and this was a Senbon. Naruto was extremely pissed. All that he can think of now was Ashin Uchiha getting impaled. This where Naruto, that Senbon that was in his hand, ignited with greenish majestic flames, and Naruto's eyes became a greenish color. And these were only a 3-to-1 Sharingan that Naruto had. This is where Naruto sends the Senbon back towards the enemy, and they just became a green dragon, rips through all of them, just exploded through all of them. That's where Naruto then just kind of shake his head, kind of confusing, but saw the enemy kind of flying away after seeing that giant green dragon. They got scared extremely fast, but most of them just got obliterated. Like a whole army of just a bunch of flying ninjas kind of just went back. Well, mostly like basically a 1/4%, because there was about like a 250, and now they're running back with only 30 of them, just because fuck it. Naruto destroyed them easily with the majestic green dragon that was ignited with just green flames. That's where Naruto, he feels extremely tired again and just falls backwards. This is where, well, Naruto was on the, well, snow vehicle, but of course he falls backwards. This is where before he was able to be catched by any of his clones because they're all poof away. This is where Naruto was actually catched by, well, Kaio. Yeah. No, why not Kaio? Yeah, Kaio. Not, wait. His name is Kyokyo. Of course, Kyokyo managed to catch him, and of course, this is where Kyokyo says, Naruto, you okay? Naruto's unconscious again. This is where, well, Kyokyo says, damn it. Well, gotta get with the others. This is where, well, Kyoko was the only one to see the majestic greenish dragon. But of course, this is where, well, he doesn't know what the fuck that was exactly. But this is where, well, we go into, again, Naruto. This is where Naruto's in bed, but of course, this is where, well, they're kind of at a hideout. Mostly he woke up again. It was mostly 2 days, but it was mostly a plan and what the hell was happening. He got informed again by, well, mostly Laura this time. And of course, Laura just told him that basically it's just the fact that this is the Revolution Army. And of course, there's not many of them because they were also attacked by these flying ninjas. It's mostly what they realized and what it is. It's not just a couple of people kind of having snow ninjas, whatever these creatures or whatever the hell they weren't human, and of course sky ninjas. Kyoko knows a little bit about sky ninjas. He only heard about it a little bit in the Mist Village, but yeah. Sky ninjas were someone that wanted to take over what's it called, the Five Great Nations. I mean, all of them seems to want to take over the Five Great Nations with power. But yeah. Of course, Kyoko says that there's basically sky ninjas, whatever, but he remembers that they got defeated a long time ago. But he just doesn't know what the hell's happening. It's where, well, Naruto noticed this girl with kind of reddish hair, and of course these bluish eyes. This is where she's trying to help people out, but of course she seems to be really depressed and lonely. Naruto went up to her and just to talk to her because, well, she seems to be the only one with a very depressing look. Well, of course everyone else is depressing, but she seems to be more depressing than normal. Naruto says, hey, this is where, well, Naruto tries to act cheerful and all that. This is where, well, it's just Izuna kind personality. That's where this girl says, who are you and what do you want? Naruto says, whoa. I'm just trying to ask, are you a medical ninja? This is where, well, she says, I'm not a medical ninja, I'm just a medic, I'm a doctor. Well, only an apprentice. That's where Naruto says, you're an apprentice? Then where's your... She says, I don't know, he was captured by the sky ninjas. Well, she doesn't say he was captured. He died. Naruto says, if that's the case, then wouldn't you be... No, he died. I don't know what to do with my life. Naruto says, whoa, don't try to kill yourself or anything. That's where she gets angry and says, I won't kill myself. That's dumb. I want to help people. Even if I'm not that experienced, I still want to help people. That's where, well, she kind of has this angry look now. Naruto says, hey, I just didn't mean to say anything. You just look really down. Even though you're a medic, you should probably try to make other people happy by kind of cheerful smile, even if it's fake. That's where, well, she looks at Naruto, and that's where Naruto, he is wearing this dark green jacket, and of course, that's where, well, she says, what is your name? That's where Naruto says, oh, the name's Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha. What's your name? This is where, well, she says, this girl seems to be 5'2", mostly kind of a little bit smaller than Naruto, but yeah. Since Naruto is, well, he's actually like 12 and all that, and she seems to also be kind of 12. And of course, Naruto's actually the height. I did mention that he was like 5'5", but I'm actually going to change it to be 5'3", but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, her name was Amaru. She has kind of this reddish orangey hair, and of course, this is where her eyes are blue. This is where, well, she had dark skin, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, well, hello there, Amaru. This is where, well, Amaru says, you're happier than normal. Naruto says, I guess that's just my gentle nature or something. Sorry about that. I usually smile even if I'm bad or anything. This is where, well, she looks at Naruto, and of course, this is where Naruto seems to be really gentle, that even behind him, the, well, background kind of changes to be really kind of like this greenish color, because he seems to be a really gentle person. It's not an illusion, it's just something that Naruto can actually do. Something that Izuna can also do, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, well, I should let you go back to your work. This is where Amaru, she had a tint of blush. This is where she said, yeah, thank you. This is where, well, she walked away, of course, kind of smiling at mostly the samurai. And of course, the samurai are kind of being happy and being motivated, but yeah. Of course, this is where Naruto, he goes off to kind of go outside. And Naruto looks at the giant sky island, or whatever the hell that is. Naruto says, damn. Would I be strong enough to be able to defeat that? 3 enemies. Would I? I swear, well, Naruto is seeing this. And of course, well, Naruto does remember him actually using the green dragon. He remembers that vibrant green color. He doesn't know what it is. Is it really connected to Izuna? Ashirin. He remembers that name, Ashirin. Uchiha. He then remembers Maru Uchiha. but he can't remember the last brother of Izuna, the last younger brother. He doesn't know why Ashirin is someone important to Izuna. Well, I mean, he is his brother, but what was the last one? He doesn't remember. He doesn't even know. But of course, we go into, well, a time skip of the plan. Pretty much it's trying to invade the, well, snow castle and trying to get towards the Vato and then try to get to the others. The priestess is going with, what's it called, Kyoko's team, mostly with, what's it called, Kyoko, and what's it called, Estef. Of course, that's where the priestess is going. Laura is right now going with mostly going with Naruto and, well, Kyoki. Of course, the sky ninjas are going to be a big problem, but this is where Naruto says that he deals with them instead. And this is where, well, they're all going in separate, but yeah, Naruto is now going up to where the Skyline Island is at. But before going up there, that's where Amara kind of tags along. Naruto says, why are you coming with me? She says, oh, it's just to make sure that you don't get hurt. Don't you want a medical person like me to help you? Naruto says, sure. Is it where, well, she comes along, and of course, where Naruto are just kind of like sneaking in to see a bunch of sky ninjas just fly out of there once you're running past. This is where Naruto says, smoke style, smoke knockout. This is where Naruto just breathes out smoke. It's basically wind and fire mixed together, and this is where he knocks out the ninjas. Da, 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 da. That's where Naruto says, don't worry about them. This is where she says, you're pretty talented, aren't you? Naruto says, I'm not talented, it's just hard working. Just ignore what I do most of the time. This is where Naruto is running through. Of course, he sees ninjas mostly coming towards him, and this is where Naruto says the first word that he thinks of. Well, he not think of, but mostly says one word: lightning discharge. He touches the wall, and of course, he knocks them all out. Da, 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 da. This is where, well, he did tell Amaro not to touch anything, and this is where, well, she understands. This is where, well, Naruto says, let's go. This is where, well, they kind of go through a big door. And when they go through a big door, this is where Amara, her eyes widen. And what she sees is this old man. This old man that kind of looks up and says, ah, Amara. It looks like you brought someone interesting. Well, Amaru. This is where, well, Amaru says, She winded her eyes. She never thought that she would ever see this man. That's where Naruto says, hey, are you okay? That's where Maru says, sir. This is where she says, sir. Shino. That's where Naruto says, Shino. That's where Shino says, poor little girl. You can call me that, but I wouldn't really care. That's where, well, Amaru was about to go close to him, but this is where, well, something appeared behind Shinro and the Zero Tails, or not even the Zero Tails, mostly this dark energy. This is where Naruto says, hey, stop. This is where Naruto mostly puts his arm basically near her chest, and this is where she kind of pushed for a little bit, because she now snapped back to reality. And this is where, well, Shinro kind of becomes having this dark hair, and this is where his clothes rips, and having a six-pack and all that. He says, you won't be able to defeat me. With this power, I'll be able to take out the 5 great nations. No one will be able to stop me. Naruto says, no one, really. You sound very arrogant, but then again, I guess you can have an a god complex. I guess you won't be that strong. With that power, you probably won't even be stronger than Madara or Hashirama. Yes, where he says, who are those people? Who cares and who they are? They want to be stronger than I. He rushes at Naruto. Naruto pushes him away. And this is where Naruto goes and actually dodges the punch. But before kicking this person in the face. This is where this person tries to punch at Naruto. Naruto dodges down and uppercuts this person. Of course, this person saying, that damage doesn't do anything to me. Naruto starts punching this person. And of course, adding lightning and wind chakra towards his hand. This is where he just slashes and cuts out what's it called. this guy, and this dude just says, "You won't," getting punched with lightning punches, and of course he says, "Those things won't hurt me." When Amor and Taroto, whatever his name is, manage to defeat their little opponents, they will be strong, and we will definitely be able to take over those 5 pathetic nations. Naruto says, "Like hell, I will let you." This is where, well, before even saying that, this is where a dark dragon smashes through, well, the side of him, and what he sees is Laura falling down from the sky, and this is where Naruto says, "Laura!" This is where, well, before Laura was able to land down, she lands on this water. Naruto sees that from the ground, and this is where, well, since there is a hole, he sees what's called as if getting attacked, mostly by these kind of giant stone creatures. Naruto says, "Estef." He then sees Kyoko, and Kyoko seems to be stabbed by one of the stone creatures. That's where Naruto says, "Ugh." This is where, well, Naruto freezes. And this is where the guy named Shino says, "Well, it's time for you to die, pathetic ninja." This is where Naruto sees that punch. And this is where, well, Naruto hears 3 voices. Mostly Kyoki say, "Naruto." Because that's the only word that she actually thought of. Because, well, they all thought of it at the same time. Kyoki, Shina, Shin and also Amaru thought of a Naruto because they see how strong Naruto was in the beginning, and they're expecting for Naruto to save them. That's where when Naruto hears Naruto, he actually heard them all at the same time. But now, Naruto sees that punch getting closer, and Naruto, we go into a flashback, a memory, a fragment. This is where what Naruto sees is, well, Izuna. He's back in Izuna's body, but this is only a memory. And what he sees is the last younger brother of Izuna. This youngest brother, his name was none other than actual Naruto. His name was, well, not Naruto entirely, was actually, different. It was actually named Nagi, but it was similar to Naruto. Not really. What am I talking about? No, but his name was, Narki? Well, I'm gonna call him Narki. Or, not Narki. Yeah, you want Nagato. His name was, well, not Nagato, no, wait. His name was Saruto. It was actually kind of, instead of having an N, it was just an S. And this is where Saruto, he saw his little brother, or mostly his older brother named Izuna. And what Izuna sees is Saruto dying towards a Senju. And this Senju has a giant sword clipping, mostly cutting the head of Saruto. This is where Saruto was crying. And of course, all that Izuna can do is see his brother die. And before anything else happens, mostly Izuna, ignited with green flames, bursting through green flames. This worked well. Izuna, at this time, he didn't even use Majestic Flame because this was actually a further memory than his actual, like, second brother. Second brother being attacked by, like, 5 Senjus. This was the first time that he ever ignited the green flames. And his eyes were a very vibrant green color. But of course, the cloak armor that he had was a greenish color. It wasn't even the Susanoo. This is where, well, Izuna says, "No! Saruto!" This is where, well, he actually made a sword out of green flames. And of course, this is where he says, "Takamaku Blade." Or, not Takamaku Blade. Pretty much the sword was called Tafagata Blade. That's where, well, when Izuna swings it once, he cuts the Senju in half. But of course, all around him, the blade sliced through so many trees. About 1, no, 2, no, 3, no, 4, 5 mile radius. It was such a strong blade that Izuna have ever created. This is where it's nothing that compares to a crown. A kind of greenish, very greenish color, very lightish greenish color of crown appears around Izuna. This is where, well, Izuna seems to be like in this kind of like state to have like 3 wings. Well, mostly 1 wing that was actually a greenish color, but kind of looks red a little bit. And of course, well, not 3, it looks to be 1. It looks like he activated something that was so powerful that no one will be able to take him on. The green blade seems to transform into an actual normal metallic blade. It's where, normal metallic blade. It's where, Izuna destroys that Senju in an instant. We go back into Naruto. Naruto's eyes ignited into greenish color, like a very jade color of green. It's where, his hair decides to explode. Well, not just green color, but a reddish color, and a crown appears. It's where, Naruto's clothes became different, an actual green color. Of course, where, we'll see these green flames appearing. A jade color of green. It's where, Naruto also activates a blade named Tafagata Blade. And this is where, Naruto seems to become the supreme god. Nah, just kidding. But for real, became a god at that moment. He was using the Jade Emperor's blade. The Tafagata Blade. He swings it once at, Shino. And of course, before the punch can even make it to Naruto, his hand was cut in an instant. Right now, just shredded. So many slices appear before Naruto's eyes. Naruto might swing his blade once, but really he swings it multiple, millions of times. And of course, his work, Shino, whatever his name, the guy with the zero tails, was destroyed in an instant. And the zero tails was destroyed in an instant. Naruto was right now standing in front of this person. It's where, Naruto's hair wasn't red. I'm actually gonna just change it to actually a greenish color also. That's where, Naruto, his eyes had a cross in it. Mostly, it looked like to have this, what's it called? It had his EMS pattern, but had a cross in it. And it was black. And that's where, Naruto looks down towards, where the other kind of problems appear. That's where Naruto spreads to have mostly two green wings. And kind of just flies from the location that he was at. And that's where, Naruto kind of, mostly some kind of green kind of arm appears, grabbing the model, and of course bringing her along with him. Of course, Amara was scared, but of course, she sees that she's not falling. This is where, she's laying down on the ground next to some samurais, and Naruto's right now flying in high speeds. This is where a green arm does grab what's it called, Laura, from the kind of water, but of course, Naruto has his blade. And this is where he swings it once, and he says, pure flash. This is where, the guy that was right now, Tomonto and all that, he had the necklace that had, Kyoki. And Kyoki was actually about to get killed by, some snow ninjas. But of course, this is where, Tobato, gone. And snow ninjas, gone. This is where Naruto lands on the ground, putting Laura next to, Kyoki. And Kyoki's eyes widen her eyes. Such a beautiful kind of green color around Naruto, dancing pretty easily. Flames are just dancing. This is where Naruto ignited green flames around Laura, but of course it's not hurting her. It's actually healing her, warming her up. This is where Laura opened her eyes. Her eyes shows her have the crimson red eyes of the Sharingan, but she sees Naruto, like Naruto's an angel or something. Naruto disappears in an instant. Right now, flying towards, the next person that he needs to save, and that's, Estef and Kyoko. He managed to find them, uses green flames, but of course smashes through the golems that are standing in front of him. That's where, what to call? Shion right now being protected by her kind of like earring Nolly. And of course she says, I can't stop him. That's where, she was actually saved in an instant and right now held by one arm. And of course, Naruto is right now, his greenish flames are actually protecting the darkness from actually touching her. That's where, it's even what's it called, the kind of pearlish necklace actually protecting him. But yeah, I should also mention one thing, that pure flash actually became rainbowish after a while, actually destroying what's it called, Tabata. But yeah, this is where the mostly the pearl necklace or whatever the hell it was again. Was it an earring necklace? I can't remember. But of course, actually right now glow Naruto with power. That's where Naruto became kind of a pinkish color. Of course, this is where Naruto swings his blade once and says, "Be gone, divine slash." That's where he swings it once, and of course, this is where, well, the darkness got eradicated. Mostly it was called divine eradication. This is where, well, it destroyed that thing in an instant. This is where, well, Shinigami eyes are right now a pinkish greenish color. Well, not greenish color, mostly like a pink color, but yeah. And she widened her eyes and how powerful Naruto is. Naruto lands down in the ground. Of course, he's the kind of ground crackling with, well, lava and all that. And that's where Naruto flies away, but yeah. Of course, he managed to get out. And of course, when Naruto lands down, he did make, what's it called, a greenish dome of flames appear around that place. It was kind of lit up with lava and all that. And it didn't overflow, instead it just made a dome around it, but yeah. Mostly an earth dome, so lava wouldn't spill out, but yeah. Until Naruto, he didn't know what was happening, but he felt tired. He passed down in an instant. Like, he just passed out, and of course, all his greenish flames disappear. Of course, we go into a time skip. Of course, there's that lava dome, and it just overflowing into water, but yeah. We do not talk about that. This is what, well, Naruto woke up in an instant, right now confused. But of course, now having a better understanding of what the hell Izuna had. Izuna had a mutated Kekkei that was actually not the Sharingan ability. It was mostly a Kekkei that he actually got from his mother's side. But yeah, this is where, well, no, Izuna didn't actually know much about his mother, but he knew that his mother was a very powerful blue flame user. Of course, this is where, well, he did not know about his green flames until a while, but never used them against anyone else. But of course, this is where Naruto is the first time to actually use his true form. The true form is called Jade Emperor. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto, after realizing how powerful that ability is, passed out after a while because that shit does take so much energy. Naruto is just glad he even got to use it a little bit, but yeah. Of course, Naruto, when he woke up to, well, no one being in front of him. That's where Naruto, he gets to his clothing, and of course, is his normal clothing, a black jacket that has the Uchiha crest. Yes, Naruto is happy that he got his original clothes, but yeah, that's where Naruto says, whatever. Did I burn my original clothes? Well, mostly not original clothes. Mostly those clothing that he was wearing in the beginning, the greenish, darkish green stuff and all that. He did burn it with the green flames, but yeah. He mostly overused the Jade ability, mostly the Jade form, and of course, destroys his ship, but yeah. Of course, it worked. Well, Naruto says, whatever. At least I got my original clothing. Time to go. This is where Naruto walks out. And of course, this is where Naruto sees that he's in a castle. And it's right now saying, where the fuck am I? Oh shit, I don't even know. Sorry about that. He says, oh shit, I don't even know where the fuck am I. Fuck. Naruto runs around, but of course manages to find the exit. And of course sees that the outside is actually a beautiful spring color. That's where Naruto says, whoa. I thought we were in the snow place. I never thought we were in spring country. Wait, no, wait. Where the hell am I exactly? That's where, well, someone grabbed his arm, and this is where Naruto looks to the, well, right of him, and sees it's Amaru. And Amaru says, hey Naruto-kun. This is where Naruto says, Amaru, are you okay? This is where Amaru says, yeah. This is where, well, Naruto also then got his, well, right, well, it was mostly Maru grabbed his right arm, and this is what, well, to the left arm, and he was actually grabbed by, well, mostly Shimaru. Shimaru says, hey Naruto-kun. That's where, well, Naruto says, Shimaru, what is happening? This is where, well, Shimaru says, huh? I'm just, thanking you, since you did save my life. Naruto says, yeah, I did, didn't I? This is where, well, Naruto, he can remember mostly the form, but of course can barely remember after a while, after passing out. But yeah, that's where, well, Shimuru is right now smiling and having this kind of like pinkish kind of tint on her face. Even Maru, and this is where, well, Koyuki says, hello there, Naruto-kun. This is where Naruto says, oh, hello there, actress, Koyuki. This is where, well, Koyuki says, yeah. That's where, well, she was about to hug him until Estef and Laura kind of appear and says, whoa, can you back up, girls? This is where, well, they kind of pout a little bit, but yeah, Naruto's very confused. This is where Laura and Estef kind of just grabs Naruto from each of his arms, and of course, this is where Naruto says, what is happening? This is where, well, Laura and Estef stick out their tongue at the other girls, and this is where all of them kind of has his tick marks. This is where, well, it's mostly fighting over Naruto. Naruto's just confused. This is where Naruto saw his sensei, and this is where his sensei was kind of reading a book. This is where Naruto says, I should probably talk to the sensei. This is where Naruto body flickers out of the grasp of Estef and also was a call Laura's mostly grasp. And this is where they're confused on where he went, but Naruto appears next to the sensei. This is where Naruto says, hey sensei, what happened? This is where, well, his sensei does tell him and what happened, and this is where Naruto understands. He was the one to save everyone, which is shocking because, well, Naruto, he actually managed to do it. He managed to defeat 3 people in an instant, which is just a power that he doesn't know what Naruto used. Naruto says it's something complicated, I guess you can say. This is where, well, mostly what's it called, the sensei says, no, it's fine. If you don't want to talk about it, then you don't need to talk about it. Naruto says, really? Thanks, sensei. This is where, oh, the sensei says, yeah. This is where Naruto is right now looking ahead, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of Koyuki thanking everyone for being there. Of course, the actor, mostly the director, was very shocked. He got the vivid green colors, the flames of freedom. That's what he calls them. Even though Naruto knows that's not the flame of freedom, but mostly the jade flames. But whatever. Liberation flames. Yeah, whatever. This is where, well, Naruto says, yeah, let's just call them that. This is where, well, the director says, this movie's going to pop off. I say it's going to pop off. Ha! Yeah, he's going crazy, but yeah. That's where Naruto says, yeah, sure. Yeah, so where, well, the actress, mostly the princess of Snow, Koyuki, the priestess, and even what's it called, Maru sweat drops and stuff, and even what's it called, Laura kind of sweat drops. And, well, Kyoko is kind of still reading a book, but yeah, it's not an orange book, it's just a normal ass regular book. He's reading that. He does not want to just deal with half of this shit, but yeah. Of course, well, we go into, Koyuki telling everyone that she's happy, and of course, well, she says, when I become 17, I want a kind of, an alliance with the Leaf Village, a proper alliance. This is where Naruto was confused, but this is where, well, Laura and what's it called, SF already knows that Koyuki kind of glances at Naruto, and Naruto is just confused, fully confused, just like, what is happening? This is where Kyoko already knows what is happening. He just says, oh great, in the near future, this is going to be a hectic marriage proposal, but whatever. This is where, well, they all kind of go to the mainland, but yeah, they mostly get on a boat, but yeah. It's where the priestess named Shino, well, not Shino, mostly Shimaru, kind of says thank you for the Leaf Village and protecting me and all that, because she got back to her homeland and all that, mostly near the demon country or whatever. And of course, well, she will say that she will make a proper alliance with the Leaf Village when she's 17 or older. She smiles and kind of just gives Naruto a smile, but yeah. Amaru does come along with them to the Leaf Village because she doesn't have anywhere to go exactly, but yeah. That's where, well, Amaru was trying to talk to Naruto. Naruto does talk a little bit, but yeah. This is where, well, Krista and, well, Laura seem to be very kind of hostile towards, well, Amaru. Amaru doesn't know why, but yeah. Naruto kind of just smiles, but yeah. Of course, to get back to the village, and this is where, well, Horusen doesn't have any reason to suspect, what's it called, Amaru to be what's it called, spy or anything, because she doesn't really have chakra control or anything. She's pretty good at medical, and just basic medical. And of course, Horusen says that she can be a, what's it called, medical ninja. And of course, Amaru thought it would be a good idea, but yeah. She goes into medical professional, but yeah. She doesn't become a ninja or anything because she's not that good at doing any of that. So of course, they work well. Before Naruto's team gets to leave, mostly Team Zero, they actually get a proposal to go into the tuning exam, which they all agreed that they do want to go to the tuning exams, which that happens. But I will end it off here. Other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and good night. Bye.